Good evening everybody, sorry for the little delay getting on the mic here for this opening race of the evening. This is obviously the sprint race. We had a reverse grid at the start based on the championship standings coming into this round here for round 2, obviously race 4 of the Clio Cup tonight at the Sportsland SUGO, and we've currently got Mike Gaming and Cobb running pretty close out of the front, and we're coming into the closing stages already in this race. I'm really sorry guys that I haven't been able to cover this. We had a bit of a nightmare with getting things underway. The stream was lagging a bit. I can't actually remember what the problems I've had were. I just remember that I just remember like crawling on the floor. My microphone fell off of its perch and I spent about 5 minutes trying to look for it, because for some reason when you drop something on the floor, oh, it's Cobb pins it into the wall. So Cobb's made a mistake there coming through this middle sector, and that's now taking him out of this fight for the win. What a shame for Cobb. That's promoted Aussie Albie up into second. Archie is into third. And he's got ahead of Smoky Devil. So Archie driving a cracker of a race here. But what a shame there for Cobb. I was just saying, it's really trippy how when you drop like something on the floor that's, I don't know, not even that heavy, and it will end up about 2 meters away from where you dropped it, and it's like, how has it bounced that far? How does that physics? I just don't understand. It's mad. Honestly, it's mad. I really don't get it. But anyway, I just, it's all a bit of a blur to be honest, but there must be some kind of reason why it took me 20 minutes to get this, to actually get the mic set up and actually be able to commentate. I don't know what happened. I think I'm just exhausted, and what's happening is I'm blacking out and I'm missing out. I'm just kind of like, I'm not really conscious for certain moments. You know, I'm present, I'm physically present, but just not really I'm not really here, kind of thing. I don't know. Cobb nonetheless is battling here with Craig. Craig driving as a late stand-in tonight. He's a reserve. He's not actually a regular in this championship, and Cobb lets him past. So Cobb there, I wonder if he's got a bit of damage on the car, potentially with that knock into the wall that we saw on the previous lap. Maybe he's just carrying a bit of damage on the front end. It does look a little bit bent. Looks like it's just a little bit like it's been through the ringer a little bit, but Craig nonetheless is up into 5th place. Jay's had a bit of a nightmare of a sprint race as well. He's down in 8th place, so that's not gone well for him at all. We've got Big Blue running behind him, Nick Levido in 10th place, and M. Afford has had a first race to forget here tonight at SUGO as he runs in 11th place right now, but it's currently Mike Gaming leading the way by just under 5 seconds here over Aussie Albie. You got Archie a couple of seconds further back. Can Smoky Devil maybe put Archie under some pressure here for a podium place? Archie obviously starting on pole for this one with the reverse grid based on the championship standings, and he's driving a very, very good race right now. Can he keep in there and bring it home for what would be a really impressive result? I'm just really sorry that we've jumped into this first race of the night very late on here, guys. Apologies. I just don't know really what to say. I really don't. You know, I just kept looking at the time and thinking, oh yeah, there's only 15 minutes left of the race, and then suddenly there was 12, and then suddenly there was 10, and then suddenly we've only got 5 minutes to go. I really don't know what's going on. I was just fumbling stuff. I was just messing everything up. I couldn't get the stream working properly. I kept switching tabs because I didn't get a chance to do a pre-show, so I was running the tabs I was running the stream on the same tabs that I was using to actually use my PC, which just meant that you saw all of my tabs on the previous stream. So then obviously I had to then end that stream and start a new one, because otherwise it would be unprofessional to basically, I had to just delete that stream, just kind of like erase it from memory, because it's just embarrassing. So we had to start again. But nonetheless, Mike Gaming leads by just over 2 seconds ahead of Aussie Albie. Smokey's just trying to get within a second of Archie at the moment. These two just coming out of the final corner. They're only about 4.5 seconds off of the lead, so Archie's driven a cracker of a race. Can he hold on here from Smoky Devil here on this final lap of the race? What a result it would be for Archie in only his 3rd appearance in the Clio Cup here at Motive. Smoky, though, an experienced veteran here of the Clio Cup. He was 2/10 quicker on the previous lap, not massively quicker by any means. Mike Gaming's had a bit of a scruffy lap on the last lap. He did a 1:36, and Aussie Albie's closed the gap, but I think it might be he might be a little bit too far away to put Mike under some serious pressure. Although if Mike does make a mistake, then Aussie Albie's going to be right there to capitalise. Archie's just extended the gap to Smoky just a little bit over the course of this first sector so far. You can see that gap's now pretty much just over a second, so Archie's just managed to find a bit of time here in the first part of this lap. Mike's keeping Aussie at 2.5, 3 seconds, so he's just holding that gap at the moment. Mike Gaming should be on course to take the first win of the night. Here comes Mike Gaming. He's coming through the final corner here at Sportsland SUGO. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cover a lot of this first race of the night, but we jumped in towards the end. Mike Gaming seems to have had it pretty easy here. Fought to get things started off. Here he comes up towards the line. He took the treble last week at the Oschersleben B Course. He's going to start off with a victory here in the first race here, race 4 of the season. Mike Gaming, your winner here, ahead of Aussie Albie, who takes a very creditable second place. Archie takes third, the final podium spot, ahead of Smokey in 4th place. Craig comes over to take P5 in the end, ahead of Cobb, who takes 6th place after battling with Mike for the lead up until a few minutes ago. P6 for Cobb, a disappointing result after such a promising first part of the race. Part Pooper Rex is going to come over to take 7th place here in the first race of the night, ahead of Jay, who had a bit of damage there on the car. 8th place for him. Big Blue comes over to take 9th place, a little way behind Jay. Then you got Nick Villa, who's been missing a headlight and his front bumper's been trying to make a break for it. P10 for Nick Villa. Oops. And M. Afford is just coming through the final corner as well. I think a race to forget for M. Afford as well. And he's also got some pretty hefty damage there on the front of his car. But M. Afford here, out of the last corner, up the hill, he comes towards the line, and it's going to be P11 here for him. Some good points with a depleted grid here tonight. We're hopefully going to get Charlie Goff and Connor Boylan in for this second race, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few moments tonight. I want to apologise once again to the drivers and to anybody watching the stream who's a friend or family member or otherwise associate of any of the drivers who wanted to watch their friends or other halves out on track. We will have a much better stream for these next 2 races tonight, guys. So fear not, we're going to be back to our best in a few moments' time. We'll see you shortly. And it is lights out and away we go. There's somebody got an absolute flyer in the mid-pack there. I think that might have been Ryan. I don't know if he jumped the start, but down towards turn 1. Nick Villa has got an absolute flyer as well, and he's up into the lead. So did he jump the start maybe? Into turn 1 they come. And it's Nick Villa leading ahead of John Boy, as John Boy actually manages to get back ahead of him coming into turn 1. Outbrakes him brilliantly there. Nick Villa runs Mike out a little bit wide, as in the background you've got Jay squeezing through ahead of Cobb. So Jay's already made up 2 places here in this first few corners. Cobb down to 5th has got another bad start. Mark Cooper there in P6 ahead of Smokey, as Smokey's got just been passed down the inside there by Raid's Fader, and Smokey gets a bit of a tap there behind as well. Was that Ryan or Big Blue there that tapped Smokey, as we got Aussie just behind Smokey ahead of Connor, ahead of Archie. So drive-through penalties. I'm not surprised one bit to see those. I called it on the stream. I said that Nick Villa and Ryan had jumped the start. It wasn't just those two. Jay also jumped the start. So I saw Nick and Ryan. I called them out straight away. Jay also jumped the start. So those 3 all going slightly before the lights went out. John Boy has very importantly now got nearly a 2-second lead, and can he just maintain that gap for the rest of this race and take some points off of Mike? As we can see, Raid's Fade has had a strong first couple of laps to this race. He's right on the back of Park Hooper as he's trying to get himself into 4th. Raid's Fade, a Big Blue, bit deep there coming through the chicane. Does he manage to hold it? He's going to be vulnerable to Smokey Devil, who's looking to the outside into the penultimate corner, and Smokey swoops around the outside, but he's got a bit wide. Big Blue can't get back with him into the final corner. Smokey then gets moved up into 7th place. Aussie Albie's now looking on the back of Big Blue as well, as they're coming down the start finish straight, and somebody's lost it there in front of them. That is Park Cooper, who's lost it coming out of the last corner, and he's going to lose out to Archie as well, and Connor. So those 2 moving up into 9th and 10th places. Down the start finish straight, a little bit too far back into turn 1, throwing a little feint to the inside, trying to distract Mike in the mirrors. I'll tell you what, it's worked, because Mike bit deep. John Boy trying to go for the cutback, can't quite do it, but I'll tell you what, that was a good little move there from John Boy, quite cheeky, and it definitely worked a treat. Mike was definitely put off a little bit there by John Boy's antics coming into the braking zone. as they're on the back of Archie. In fact, Archie now in 8th place, so he's had a really good sort of first few laps to this second race. Raidspader is now looking down the inside of a Park Hooper, side by side coming out of turn 3, and Raidspader gets the move done back up into P9. Beautifully done there from here. What the gaps could be. It could be a close championship, and there could be certainly some pretty decent placings on offer. Oh, as Jay goes into the back of Ryan. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. And Jay waits for Ryan to get going again. Oh, they've crashed into each other again. And Mike now seems to be just upping the tempo a little bit. Can John Boy go with him? As these two have now almost gapped Cobb by nearly 5 seconds. So that on top of that, if he doesn't slow down sufficiently enough. But I'll tell you what, Mike's got to slow down. Mike's got a slow down penalty, and he's absolutely let John Boy through. John Boy now leads the race. Mike, I think, was a bit wide coming out of the penultimate corner. Must have been 4 wheels off of the track. He now concedes P1 here to John Boy. So John Boy, and Mike has still got a penalty anyway. So Mike's got 1. So it's still advantage Mike. John Boy has track position, but he needs to pull out over a second to Mike if he is to win this race. So we're on lap 12 of 17. We've got just over 5 laps left to go here for the second race of the night. Obviously, race 2 of 3 for the opening round of the season. Oh, Mike's lost it. He's completely drops it there, coming to the penultimate corner, just keeps it out of the wall. And also, Mike has got a 2-second penalty, so they are now even in terms of penalties here in this second race. So John Boy just needs to stamp home this advantage. We've got Park Hooper in the distance there, trying to look on Emappa, but having said that, Ozzy has got him run here on Archie into the final corner. Archie, though, will have the better exit. He's got the better line out of the last corner and keeps on to 8th place for the time being. Emappa has got Park Hooper now really close to him as well, but Park Hooper just a little bit too far back, I think, to make the move coming into turn 1. 8 of you currently watching the stream, smash that like button and Mike Gaming. We believe they've both got the same number of penalties, and Mike has lost a bit more time here to John Boy. He's now nearly 2 seconds adrift, so John Boy just extending the gap where he needs to at this point. Oh, and John Boy has got a penalty. He's got another penalty. Oh, he's got a 4-second penalty. John Boy's picked up on a 4-second penalty. So he needs to pull out 2 seconds to Mike if he's to win this race. John Boy has just got to negotiate the 2 right-handers. Mike Gaming there is trying to keep with him, but he doesn't really need to push him. Mike just needs to keep himself in that sort of that catchment area of John Boy. As John Boy coming out of the last corner here at the Oschersleben B Course to take the win on the track. But I think it's going to be Mike Gaming who's going to take the win on the classification. John Boy comes over to take the win on the track, but Mike Gaming is your winner, and it's 2 from 2 for Mike so far this season. Cobb is going to come over to take 3rd place, and that's his second 3rd place in as many races. So it's the same top 3 as we saw in the first race. Here we are, guys, welcome back to the Motive Racing YouTube channel for round 2 of the Clio Cup here for season 12 here on Project Cars 2 on the PlayStation 4 and 5 crossplay. Here we've got race 2 of the night. This is going to be race 5 of an 18 race season, 3 races per round for the Clio Cup. We're at round 2, so obviously this is the middle round of round 2, so race 5 of 18 for the entire season, as I said. And Mike Gaming is currently top of the leaderboard, winner from all 3 races last week at the Oschersleben B Course, looking in imperious form so far in his second qualifying session. He's over a second clear of Cobb in second place. Cobb's just managed to dip under a second to him there, but Mike is absolutely flying tonight, as we're going to watch Jay and see what Jay can do. Jay's a former runner-up of the Clio Cup here at Motive from a couple of seasons ago. Pushed John Boy all the way. John Boy in turn was able to push Mike all the way last season. John Boy not here tonight, not able to make this round, which is a shame. shame to obviously not have him, as he's a bit of a staple here amongst the guys in the Project Cars 2 leagues, but unfortunately not here tonight. So what can Jay do to maybe pick up the mantle and try and give Mike a bit of a fight here in tonight's proceedings, as we can see him just coming through the middle part of the lap at the moment. Now what is Jay able to do here, as he's now 0.6 of a second up, so he just needs to nail the last part of the lap here, and Jay will definitely put himself P2. Can he get a little bit closer to Mike, maybe just carve that deficit down a little bit and give himself a bit of hope, a bit of momentum going into this second race of the night, as here comes Jay up the hill towards the line. Did he get a good run out of the last corner? Difficult to tell in the Clios what sort of speed they're getting, what sort of pace they're getting in certain parts of the track. Jay managed to go P2 within 0.7 of a second of Mike, so it's not so bad as it looked before. Jay not too far away. You can definitely keep up in the slipstream with a 0.7 of a second deficit. Oh, as we see Craig doing a fantastic lap there, going up into P5. Our very late stand in reserve tonight, Craig doing a fantastic job there. 1:32 dead, 1.3 off the pace, but it's Mike Gaming on pole ahead of Jay, who will line up alongside him on the front row, with Cobb and Nick the Villa on the second row behind them. Craig and Smokey Devil in 5th and 6th ahead of Park Pooper and Aussie Albie. Then you've got Archie, who managed to take a fantastic podium a few moments ago in the first race. He'll start 9th ahead of Afford in P10. And then you've got Big Blue, Connor Boylan and Charlie Goff at the back. So surprising to see Charlie down there. We've been used to seeing him up there fighting for podiums in the last couple of seasons, but nonetheless P13 for Charlie, and let's proceed to the race. So I'm just going to quickly double check my audio and make sure it's coming out on the stream. Just check my audio. Yep, we're all good. We're all ready to roll here. We've got a couple of comments coming in on the stream, guys. Big shout out to Glenn and Emma in the comments. Glenn, one of our drivers on Sunday in the GT3 League on PS5 on ACC. Great to see you in the comments. Glenn often supports us actually since he joined the league a couple of weeks ago. Also Emma, other half of Aussie Albie there, saying good luck to all the guys out on track here tonight. Here we go then, the lights coming on now. We're about to go racing here at Sportsland SUGO, and we're underway. And Mike seemed to move a bit before the start there, but he didn't get a great start, and Jay has got a much better start, but not quite alongside him into turn one. Jay tucks in behind Mike for the time being. DJ Phil joining the session there. He's a bit late, but you've got Craig here trying to hold it around the outside of Smokey into P5, as Aussie there and Park Pooper pretty close. You can see Big Blue trying to get involved, trying to get onto the back of Park Pooper as well. Afford Charlie has made 2 positions here. Charlie Goff, great start there from him, as he's now made another position. He's got ahead of Afford as well, so Charlie Goff up 3 places from P13 on the grid. Archie's had a horrible start, down to 13th from 9th on the grid. Connor maintains position for the time being, but it's Mike from Jay from Cobb, Nick the Villa, Craig ahead of Smokey, followed by Aussie, Park Pooper, Big Blue, Charlie, Emma for Connor, and Archie at the back in P13 at the moment. But Mike Gaming's facing pressure from Jay. Jay's not letting him off the hook in the early stages of this race. Cobb there sitting in 3rd place, has dropped off a little bit over the course of the first lap sector of this lap. You've got Nick coming under heavy pressure from Craig right now, as they're coming down towards the end of the long straight, but Craig's a little bit too far back. Smokey's pretty close on him as well. Bit of a lock up there from one of the drivers up ahead. I think that was Jay who locked up coming into the right-hander. It's a tricky right-hander. It's more than it's sort of like not quite a hairpin, but it's one of those challenging corners. You can carry the speed, but it's also very tight, and you really do have to you have to be pretty much very precise with how you take your lines. But Aussie Albie right now is on the back of Smokey Devil. Quite a congested pit pack though, as they're coming out of the last corner here to complete the first lap, as you'd expect. It's Mike still leading ahead of Jay, Cobb ahead of Nick, and Craig is all over the back of Nick the Villa as they're coming up the hill. Down the start finish straight they come. Craig's got a bit of a slipstream here. Can he look to the inside here on Nick the Villa? He's going to look to pull out here, but Nick goes to defend the inside line. Craig's going to have to go around the long way here if he wants to get this done. Nick the Villa is going to hold that inside line for the time being. Craig can't get the cut back. Nick goes a little bit wide. He gets it stopped though. Nicely done. Smokey Devil ahead of Aussie Albie. Park Pooper's dropped off with these guys a little bit now, as Aussie looked to get ahead of Smokey for a moment there, but must have overshot it or just not quite got alongside him far enough. So he tucks in for the time being. Mike, Jay, Cobb, Nick, Craig, Smokey, Ozzy, Part Pooper, Big Blue, Emma for Connor, Archie, Charlie Goff, your entire pack. And Charlie Goff has made a mistake somewhere. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he has gone from, well, he went from 13th to 10th at the start, and he's now gone back to 13th place. So I don't know what's happened there to Charlie Goff, but he has not had the rest of the opening lap that I think he would have needed after a flying start in the first sector of the first lap, as we just watched there Connor going very wide out onto the, or was it Archie? I think it might have been an Archie that was going wide. No, it wasn't. In fact, it was Charlie who was going wide out onto the back straight. But Mike Gaming still your race leader. Jay's just keeping him within touch at the moment, but Mike's threatening to break away. Is Jay? Big mistake there, and that might allow Cobb in. Cobb's going to move up into second place. Jay there just pushing a little bit too hard, got onto the curb, got all sorts of sideways, snapped the other way onto the grass. He's kept it going, and he only has 2 seconds off of the lead, but that's not going to be what Jay would have hoped for. He would have hoped to keep that pressure on Mike Gaming. In the meantime, Nick Levilla's got Smokey, Craig and Ozzy Albie very close on the back of him as they're now coming down the start finish straight here. Craig is right on the back of Smokey, but Smokey's got the slipstream off of Nick, so that will allow him to just defend here and just pull away a little bit actually from Craig coming into the braking zone. For the time being, Craig can't do anything there on Smokey Devil. Nick has got a penalty, I assume for track limits, probably for running wide onto the grass at some point, but Nick's still sat in P4 at the moment. But Jay down to third place after that little mistake there, coming through the final sector on that previous lap. He's lost out to Cobb. Cobb's now up into second place, and Mike Gaming's just stretching out his advantage. And how many times have we said that here over the course of this season already? Mike Gaming took obviously the treble in the Clio Cup in this very series last week at Oschersleben B Course. He then went on to take 2 out of 3 in the touring cars on Thursday. He obviously commentates on the GT3 series, so he's not racing in that one. He can't win that one, but yeah, he's had a barnstorming start to this season so far. Cameraman just is not picking up the drivers, it's just flicking to oblivion. So it's kind of like denting my confidence in being able to be creative with these camera angles, because it's just not playing ball at the moment. But currently still Mike Gaming, your race leader, coming through the final corner, about to complete lap 3 of the race. Cobb, Jay, Nick Levillas has still got Smokey, Craig and Ozzy on the back of him, but this is a fascinating battle here for 4th place. You've got 4 cars running very close. Oh, as we can see, Nick Levillas gone off, coming to the final corner there, gets it horribly wrong and stays out of the way. Well done there, mate, good driving, very conscientious of those other drivers coming past. But Nick Levillas down to 11th place. He's lost so many places. He's gone from 4th all the way down to 12th place, and he will be absolutely gutted with that. What a shame there for Nick Levilla. As we go to the battle here for second place, Cobb and Jay still very, very close. These guys are not really able to match Mike at the moment. Mike was 4 tenths quicker than these two on the previous lap. You've got Smokey now in 4th place with Nick making that mistake. He's still got Craig and Ozzy right on the back of him. Part Pooper's actually closing on this battle as well now. There's Big Blue there running in 8th ahead of M. Afford, followed by Archie. There's Connor in 11th place at the moment. Nick Levilla is sat in P12 at the moment. He's about 2.5-3 seconds ahead of Charlie Goff, who sits 13th in this race after an early mishap there for him. But Mike, Cobb, Jay separated by 3 seconds, but Mike pulling away from these two over the course of the first part of this race. Smokey's still got Craig and Ozzy really close on the back of him. Ozzy's still looking to try and shape up a move here on Craig. They've pulled away a little bit from Part Pooper over the course of this lap. Big Blue and M. Afford still battling Archie there in P10. Connor has got Nick now starting to close up onto the back of him again after Nick's mistake a couple of laps ago now. Craig though might have a run here on Smokey Devil. I tell you what, he got a lovely exit there coming out of the final corner, got a good run up the hill. Here goes Craig, he's going to pull out the slipstream now, and is he going to have this move done into turn 1? I think he is. Craig there is going to go down the inside and gets it stopped beautifully there. There's Craig up into 4th place. He's taken these Clios like a duck to water as Craig. He's racing with us in the Touring Car Championship this season as a regular racer. He has jumped in these Clios as a last minute stand-in, and I hope that he signs up to the championship, because so far he's been an absolute revelation here, and up into 4th place ahead of Smokey and Ozzy. These seasoned veterans in the Clios are being currently shown how it's done by this man just in front of them. Part Pooper still running in P7 ahead of Big Blue. M. Afford there just behind them ahead of Archie. And you've got a big gap back to Nick, who's got ahead of Connor now up into 11th place. And Nick Levilla has made that move. Connor there in 12th. Charlie Goff running in 13th at the moment. But yeah, race leader still Mike Gaming. But to be fair, he's not pulled out a massive gap to Cobb and Jay over the last couple of laps. He's still a couple of tenths a lap quicker, but the gap's only 2.5 seconds. So, you know, if Mike were to make a little mistake or something, then these two are going to be there to capitalise. I'm not saying that he's going to make a mistake and that they're going to beat him, but you know, it's not completely beyond these two right now. They're keeping tabs with him. They're keeping him in their sights. And as I say, you know, one little slip from Mike and Cobb and Jay could be in that battle for the win. Mike last lap at 31.4, Cobb at 31.4, Jay at 31.3. So the three leaders are now matching each other. But these two, Cobb and Jay, just need to work together here. Need to try and be cooperative with each other in order to try and bridge that gap to the race leader Mike. Archie's still trying to get on terms with M. Afford here. These guys are a couple of seconds clear of this man, Big Blue. Nick the Villas is now in clean air. He's cleared Connor by some way. Connor's made a mistake, I think, because he's now behind Charlie. So Connor's had a horror show. I don't know what's happened to Connor, but he's weaving around on the start-finish straight and seems to be in a bit of trouble right now. I don't quite know what's going on there. Connor's retired from the race, so some kind of issue there for him on lap 6, and that will mean he won't start on pole for the feature race, because obviously retiring halfway through the race, he hasn't completed enough race distance to be able to start the final race from pole. I keep calling it a feature race. It's not the feature. There is no feature race or sprint race nowadays. It's race 1, race 2 and race 3. They're all sprint races. None of them need to do pit stops. It's just 20-minute sprint races approximately in terms of laps, and basically just straight out out and out racing really is what it's supposed to be. As we're coming out of the last corner, the three leaders you see in your shot. Mike Gaming still has got 2.4 over Cobb, so the gap's not gone up at all. It's not really gone down. 31.5 from Mike, 31.4 from Cobb, 31.4 from Jay. These two are 10th quicker than Mike, but not gaining by the amount that they would need to in order to be able to challenge him for this win. A 10th of a second a lap would not do it for either of them. They need to be around 2 tenths a lap quicker. 2 or 3 tenths a lap quicker is what they need to be able to challenge Mike at the end of this race. If they can do that, they might have a chance of having a crack at him in the last lap. But they probably need about 3 tenths a lap quicker than Mike if they're going to challenge him on the last lap. It's doable, but they're running out of time. Craig and Smokey still running pretty close. Ozzy's just keeping tabs of them, but he's just dropped off of them a little bit over the course of the last lap. Having said that, Ozzy with his personal best first sector there. Craig still hanging on here ahead of Smokey. In the background also you can see that Archie's on the back of M. Afford, but let's watch this battle here as Smokey's getting ever closer here to Craig as they're coming through the middle sector of the lap. Craig's still holding him at bay. You've got Ozzy there running in P6 ahead of Park Pooper, who's running all by himself there in 7th place. M. Afford's still holding Archie off at the moment. You've got Big Blue now arriving, Nick the Villa now arriving on the back of Big Blue in this battle for P10. Big Blue a bit wide there. Will have got to slow down for that one, I'm sure. So we'll need to let off a little bit. Mike's extended his gap a bit on that lap. He's 31.3. Cobb and Jay a considerable way off of that. So these two maybe just starting to battle a little bit, starting to slow each other down, and that's giving Mike the impetus. So is Jay looking up the inside there of Cobb. Looks to have that move done, but Cobb keeping it around the outside there. Good driving there from Cobb. Well done for getting his elbows out. Jay's going to have to just go again and keep looking for a possible route in here, but Cobb's doing a good job right now of defending his position. These two, though, are losing time to the race leader the more they battle, and more this race is potentially slipping away from either of them. Have they already given up on a race win? Are they now fighting it out over the scraps here? Mikey race leader. There are Cobb and Jay still running pretty close. Craig still keeping Smokey behind him just about. Aussie Albie's dropped it somewhere because Aussie Albie has made a mistake. He's now behind Part Poopers, and Part Poopers into 6th place. Obviously Aussie Albie was on the back of Craig and Smokey, and Smokey's done Craig. So Smokey's got ahead of Craig there coming through the final sector. He must have done it into the second to last corner there. Craig's still on the back of him though, and this is where Craig actually made the move on Smokey a few laps ago. If Craig can get a good run here coming out of the last corner, he might fancy his chances down the start finish straight. Here we go, he's got a bit of a run. Has he got enough of a run to be able to make a move going into turn 1? Now Smokey's going to defend the inside line. Craig's going to have to go around the long way. I think he's a little bit too far back. Smokey defending it just to be sure, but Craig got nowhere to go there. Smokey holds on to that one. Part will be there in the background ahead of Aussie Albie, who dropped it on the previous lap, I assume. Down to P7, Emmafford and Archie still battling over 8th place. And we have lost another driver from the race, unfortunately. Or have we? Yeah, we've lost Charlie as well, so Charlie is out of the race. Now, I don't think he'll be able to start on pole because he hasn't made it. He's made it to lap 9. I generally say you have to complete 80% of the race distance. You need to be within a couple of laps of the leaders in order to be classified. So I think Charlie's going to start from the back for this final race of the evening. Cobb's just managed to gap Jay a little bit on this lap. That's now just under a second, but it was a lot less than that before. Smokey's still keeping ahead of Craig since making that move on the previous lap. Part Pooper's got just over a second to Aussie. Is Aussie closing that gap? Back up here. Emmafford and Archie still battling out over 8th and 9th places. Nick the Villa there is now ahead of Big Blue, but about 3 seconds off at the back of this battle between Emmafford and Archie. Mike Gaming coming through turn 1. He's now on lap 10. He's got 4 laps left, including the one he's currently on. Cobb there is just matching Mike on the last lap, so he's not completely given up yet, but the gap is over 3 seconds now, and you feel that Mike would need to make a mistake here for Cobb and Jay to be brought back into this race. I think it'd be something of a tall order at this point. Jay's just binned it, coming through the final part of the lap, second to last corner. He's got it all wrong. He's been struggling through that corner all race as Jay. He's now going to have to wait for the other guys to come through. Craig comes through, so does Smokey. Is Part Pooper going to get him as well? Jay's got big damage on the front, and that's going to cost him a lot of lap time here in the final part of this race. Part Pooper's going to swoop around the outside into 5th place, and Jay might be vulnerable to Aussie as well here. And Jay, it was looking good. It was looking on course for a podium here in this final race of the evening, but it's all gone horribly wrong there. What a shame there for Jay. He's still in this battle with Part Pooper and Aussie, but it's getting a bit tricky now for him. As in the meantime, we've still got Mike leading the race by 3.5 seconds at the moment ahead of Cobb. Continuing to just eke out that gap a little bit, but Cobb's lost his sparring partner, but seems to have lost a bit of pace as well in the last couple of laps. The gap's up to 4 seconds now between Mike and Cobb. Craig now into the podium places with Jay's spin. What a result for Craig that would be if he can keep this up. How unexpected that would be. Racing as a reserve tonight. Well, congratulations to him though, what a job. Really well done to Craig, very impressed with him. Smokey there running in 4th place, ahead of Part Pooper. Part Pooper's got Aussie and Jay on him though. Jay's looking to come back at these guys. He's got a bit of damage there and he's riding over those curves a bit. This is the corner where Jay struggled all night. Gets it all right this time though. But Jay will be looking to try and pick up a couple of positions here and get himself into P5 before the end of this race. He's got these two, Part Pooper and Aussie, just in front of him there. You can see those guys fishtailing around as they come through out of the last corner. Up the hill they come to start their penultimate laps of the race. As here they come. Aussie having a look on Part Pooper. He's too far back coming into turn 1. Jay though's looking to try and pick off both of them if he can. Gap at the front between Mike and Cobbs up to 4.5 seconds. That's job done for Mike unless he spins it in the final lap and a half of this race. But this is the battle that we're watching at the moment. The battle for P5 between Part Pooper, Aussie and Jay. Archie still on the back of Emmaford. In fact, yep, he's that's still as it has been for pretty much the entirety of this race. Back to the battle for P5 right now between these three. Part Pooper, Aussie and Jay. As Aussie just seemed to get a little bit of a compromise run in the background there. Emmaford also didn't get a great run. Got a little bit onto those curbs there. I'll tell you what, living dangerously there. Aussie's too far back on Part Pooper. Has Jay got a run on Aussie? No, he hasn't. Aussie, massive lock up there. Jay might be pouncing here. Oh, is Part Pooper onto the grass there a little bit. This is just showing Aussie and Jay that their openings are there if they can just go and grab them. Grab one horns. Oh, as they both lose it in unison there. Oh my gosh, as they both fly across the track. Jay there almost going straight into oncoming traffic. Aussie as well. And who is the other car? There was another car there. What's happened here? Jay, Aussie both losing it, and so did Smokey as well. Smokey was the car in front of them that lost it. So Smokey was in a battle with Craig for the podium places. Smokey, Aussie and Jay all losing it independent of each other, and now we've got a three wide coming into turn 1. As Aussie Albie is trying to keep it up the inside here. Archie has to back out on that one. Emmaford though has mugged all of these guys up into 5th place. Now Nick is looking up the inside of Archie coming into turn 4. Can't get it done. He goes a bit wide. Smokey pushes it wide. Oh, Smokey's trying to squeeze himself in. Oh, that was ambitious there from Smokey. That wasn't going to work. Emmaford still keeping Aussie Albie behind him. But this is going to go all the way to the checkered flag here as these guys are battling out over 5th place and they're giving it everything on this final lap. But Emmaford, having been in 8th place for most of this race, has managed to gain 3 positions due to everybody else tripping over each other. As now you've got Aussie looking down the inside of Emmaford here, coming down to the end of the back straight. Here we go. Aussie Albie 4th, 5th place in this race. Tagging the curb a little bit. Emmaford a bit wide. Emmaford's going to have the inside for the left-hander. Where's Mike Gaming? He's coming up towards the line to take the win here in this second race of the night. What a win here. That's 2 from 2 so far tonight. Aussie Albie looks like he's got the job done here on Emmaford. What about Archie? Can he get ahead of Emmaford as well? As he's now on the back of him. Nick DeVilla's right there on these guys as well. As they're now coming out of the final corner. Cobb takes 2nd, Craig in the end, a great podium for him. Part Pooper takes 4th place. Aussie's going to take P5. What about Emmaford? Do you think he's just going to hold on here ahead of Archie? So Emmaford P6, Archie 7th, Nick Levita over in 8th place in the end. Smokey takes 9th ahead of Jay, who comes over in 10th place. Disappointing for him after running in P3 for so much of it. Last driver to finish there, Big Blue in 11th place. Obviously we lost Charlie and also Connor in the early stages, but what a race. And Mike Gaming there in the end just stayed out of trouble and managed to drive off at the start and takes the win by just under 5 seconds. Cobb 2nd place, not too far away off of him in the end. Craig though, what a job. Driving as a late stand in reserves tonight. P3, well done Craig. Hats off to you. You deserve a pat on the back for that one. That was fantastic. Part Pooper P4, Aussie P5, Emmaford in 6th ahead of Archie 7th, Nick Levita 8th, Smokey 9th, Jay 10th, Big Blue the last finisher. Charlie and Connor will have to start from the back for the final race of the night because they didn't make it far enough into the race. But guys, we'll be back very, very shortly for the final race in about 5 minutes time. Don't go anywhere. we are underway, and Mike did not get away very well at all. John Boy's already got ahead of him coming up towards turn 1, but Mike has the inside line. John Boy just slightly ahead as you've got Jay attacking there to the inside. Has Mike managed to keep onto P1 here as we come into the first corner? John Boy there trying to keep it around the outside. He'll have the inside for turn 2, but Mike keeping it there and has managed to hold on to the lead. So it's Mike from John Boy from Jay, the top 3. Aussie Albie's just sneaked her up into 4th place there. Nick Levilla's got ahead of Cobb. Cobb's had a nightmare first couple of corners here, down to 6th place. Looking down the order, it looks very clean so far. Emma Finn ahead of Park Cooper, followed by Raids Fader, who's made a good start up into 9th. Ryan still P10. You've got Smokey ahead of Big Blue, followed by Archie, who's got ahead of Connor Boylan up into 13th place. And Mike Gaming, your reigning champion, currently leading the field as John Boy gets it all wrong coming through the chicane. Just survives though, keeps on to it. He did really well there to keep it together. John Boy was living dangerously there coming through the chicane. He really walloped that curve quite heavily, but Aussie Albert doing a good job right now, keeping on the back of these guys at the moment. As we can see, Cobb on 2 wheels there coming out of the last corner, keeps it together. Even 14th places as John Boy, it just gives Mike a bit of a tap in the rear there, coming through turn 2, out of turn 3, out onto this little back straight, and John Boy seems to have maybe got the edge here. No, Mike just gets a better run coming up towards turn 4. Mike with the inside line into the left hand bend, and Mike for the time being keeps on to P1. Fader's had a moment, I'm not sure what's happened to him, but Raids Fader must have dropped it somewhere on that lap because he has got big damage on the front of that car. Down to Ryan, and you can see here Park Pooper looking to the inside. He sends one on the inside of Aussie Albie there. Bit aggressive from Park Pooper, and Aussie Albie's going to lose out to Cobb. Cobb now is going to make this 3 wide down the start finish straight. This is very aggressive racing there from Park Pooper Rex. He's now in the middle. He's in the sandwich here between Cobb and Aussie Albie as they're now coming into turn 1. Who's going to go latest on the brakes? Looks like Cobb goes latest on the brakes. Can he hold it around the outside? Cobb there making 2 positions in a few hundred metres, and Cobb is up into 5th place. He's been racing in the Wednesday GT3 League on the PS4 platform with us on ACC as John Boy's made the move on Mike. Has Mike got a slowdown? I think he must have had a slowdown there because John Boy breezed past him far too easily there coming down the straights, and Mike Gaming has had to hand the initiative to last season's runner-up in the championship. He got a decent exit, but John Boy also likewise got good traction as he come over the line here. So 111.4 there from Mike, a 111 dead from 111.4 from John Boy, 111 dead from Mike as he's now looking to the outside into turn 1. He's going to try and go all the way round here. He is going to go all the way around him. Mike Gaming there, bit of track limits maybe on the exit. John Boy gets the cut back beautifully there, and John Boy saw that coming from a mile off. You're going to have to get up earlier in the morning if you want to get John Boy there, Mike. John Boy absolutely beautifully telegraphed that. Not looking perfect at the moment. It was Cobb has made the move on Nick Levilla. Nick Levilla I think might have had a slowdown there coming into the penultimate corner because Cobb seizes on that, says thank you very much indeed, and Cobb might fancy a run at Jay here for a podium's place here, so he wouldn't start on pole anyway. But nonetheless, the next race is a qualifying session. Mike Gaming has got a great run coming out of the last corner as we were talking about Raids Fader there. John Boy completely unawares, and Mike has swoops round into the lead. That was a very unexpected move there indeed. Did John Boy just get a little bit onto the curb on the exit of the last corner? John Boy's now having a look into turn 1. Mike Gaming defends, weaves around a little bit, goes a little bit deep into the corner. Can John Boy get the cut back like he did earlier on? Not this time around. And Mike Gaming now with the lead of the race with probably what was going to be about 5 laps left to go in this race. What has John Boy got to throw at him here? Ryan's might be able to send one down the inside here on Aussie as well here as he's now going to be having a look. Here we go in towards turn 1 we come now. Park Pooper there in the front of your screen as you can got Aussie Albie on the right hand side of Ryan. Ryan sends one on Aussie and has got the move done on him there. Ryan up into 7th place. Now Ryan's looking on the back of Park Pooper as well, looking to try and make 2 moves in the space of 3 corners. Ryan just about has got the run, he's just ahead, but Park Pooper squeezes back ahead on the run down towards turn 4, side by side between these two. Park Pooper Rex with the outside there. Ryan has the inside line, and Park Pooper has the inside line. Ryan can't get it around him. Park Pooper holds on to P6. Jay's dropped it. Oh, Jay's made a mistake coming through the penultimate corner. He's got a bit of damage on the front. It should hopefully be alright. Better of it. No, Ryan tucks in for the time being. Although Park Pooper was a little bit early on the brakes, Ryan just had a look into the braking zone. Now he's going to look to try and get a cut back here coming out of turn 3. Ryan sneaks down the inside. Can he get the move completed? Yes, he does. Thank you very much, says Ryan. And he's now into P6. Now Park Pooper's got to cover up Aussie Albie, who's looking down the inside. Jay here has got Ryan there pretty close. Now Aussie and Park Pooper close as well as Aussie Albie swoops around the outside of Park Pooper Rex there into 7th place. These guys behind him. Ryan's got the slipstream and he's going to be forced just around the outside. No, he's going to come back to the inside there. Chase leaves the space and Chase swerves around a little bit there. Ryan to the outside into turn 1. Can he get it all the way around? And Jay really deep on the brakes. He's gone wide and he's going to lose out here as well to Ozzy. And now Part Poop is going to look around the outside as well. Jay loses 3 places in one corner. And to be fair, I think that's gone pretty much exactly how I would have predicted, and that's probably the best way for that to happen, if I'm perfectly honest, because if that hadn't happened, I reckon that Jay would have ended up having to defend it very aggressively. You're watching the 2 leaders, Mike and John Boy, still running within a second of each other, but I think Mike's just going to see off the charge here of John Boy, and Ozzy Alvy's made a mistake because he's now behind Jay, so Jay back up into P7, gets the position handed to him on a play there. Ozzy was attacking on Ryan. Part Pooper's got ahead of both of Ryan and Ozzy, and Part Pooper now up into P5, so I don't know if Ryan and Ozzy maybe came together a little bit there, but Part Pooper up into 5th place. In the meantime, we're going to have a look at and see what Mike's doing, because Mike is coming up towards the line, and it's going to be the victory in the first race of the season here for Mike Gaming. The reigning champion gets off on the right foot as we see John Boy over the line in 2nd place, continuing their rivalry this season. Hopefully we get a similar sort of championship battle as we saw last. Welcome back then everybody for the final race of the evening here for the Clio Cup, round 2 of the season. Obviously each and every round has 3 races, so this is race 6 of 18 for the whole season, but obviously race 3 on the night for round 2 here at Sportsland SUGO. And I suppose this is the race where we find out if Mike Gaming can make it 6 race wins from 6 races so far this season. What an opening couple of weeks he's had to the Clio Cup. I mean, he has been unstoppable, quite literally. He has not failed to win a single race so far this season. Took the treble last week at Oschersleben B Course, and so far has won 2 out of 2 tonight. And obviously this reverse grid might make it a bit more difficult for him, but saying that certainly did not stop him in the first race of tonight. But what can Mike Gaming do here in the final lap of practice? Obviously this is only a practice, it does say qualifying, but we'll be disregarding the results from this qualifying session and doing a manual formation lap and getting into a reverse grid order based on the results from race 2, which was a few moments ago. So we'll be finding out in just a few moments what Mike's lap time is, nonetheless, as he comes up towards the line and he doesn't do a lap that's representative. So that looks like that's going to be that then for this final practice session of the night, and we'll be jumping into the final race of the evening. Again, a sprint race, reverse grid based on the race 2 results, but no pit stops, no messing around. It's just a simple, straight out race to the line. It's going to be exciting to see how the guys can deal with the traffic and pit their wits against the rest of the Clio Cup drivers. Some with plenty of experience, some like Craig have jumped in at the last minute tonight and have really impressed us. What a job he did in that second race a few minutes ago. go, managed to take third place. Really has stepped up to the plate in, I believe, is the first time I've ever seen him race the Clio Cup cars. I don't know if it is the first time, but he has really taken to them superbly well. He's been, I think, I would say my driver of the day so far is Craig. Really impressed with him. But I mean, you can't fault Mike, can you? But then again, I suppose you expect to see Mike performing in the way that he has done tonight. That's one thing that I think you can say about him. Nonetheless, Jay goes quickest in the final practice session here of the night. 31.5, 4/10 clear of Cobb in second place. But we're going to proceed to the race, and just in a few moments' time we'll be in a reverse grid based on the results from race 2 a few minutes ago. So we'll have one formation lap, and the guys will get themselves into the order based on that. So we're just starting the formation lap up now. So we believe it's going to be Big Blue, I think, leading us around. It's going to be Jay in second. So Jay's got a fantastic chance here of maybe being the first driver to deny Mike Gaming of a win. If he can keep it on the island, keep it straight and not make any mistakes, then he'll have a great opportunity to finally make this work. Mike's going to be coming all the way from 11th on the grid. Obviously not starting last because we had a couple of retirements in that first race. Sorry, not the first race, the second race, should I say. That being Charlie and Connor, so those guys will have to start all the way from the back of the grid, just behind your double race winner here tonight. There he is, currently in 11th on this formation. But what can Jay do? I think Jay needs to get on with this early. He needs to get on Big Blue, make that pass as soon as possible, and try and get away at the front. Try and put a bit of a gap between himself and the chasing pack. And if he can do that, then he might be able to be in with a chance of finally taking a win here in the Clio Cup. I'm not sure if he even took a win last season, to be fair, in the Clios. He's had a torrid run in these Clio Cup cars the last couple of seasons. He obviously was the runner-up in the championship a couple of seasons ago to John Boy, and obviously won the touring car championship that same season. Season 10 was a hell of a season for Jay, but season 11 certainly not so much. Season 12 hasn't been what he would have needed it to be or wanted it to be, but then again, you know, all we need is one good result, I think, to kind of turn around his form and just get his confidence back a little bit. That's all that Jay needs, I think, to get himself back up and running. But here we go. Oh, somebody has lost it in the background there. Let's hope that they can get back into order. Who was that? Was that Ozzy Albi? I think it was Ozzy Albi that lost it out of the that tricky left-hander, which gets you onto that banked curve. But he's back on now. So Big Blue, nonetheless, you're leading here out of the last corner now. When Big Blue decides to put his foot down, we'll be officially underway. Is Jay going to pick him up and be on the ball for when Big Blue eventually decides to go? Here we go. I think we're going now. Yes, we are. We are green. Big Blue flat to the boards here as we come over the line to start the final race of the night here. Jay in second ahead of Smokey. There's Nick Lavilla, who's got Archie looking to his inside, a little bit too far back into turn 1 as we've got a battle going on here. Cobb has got Mike looking down his inside already here, and Mike Gaming's made his move up into P10. So Mike, an electric start. What can Cobb do? Can he keep himself on the outside? No, he can't. Mike Gaming there has pulled off a great move there to get up into P10 as Big Blue still leads the race ahead of Jay. Smoky Devil, Nick Lavilla currently followed by Archie ahead of Emma for Des Ozzy ahead of Park with Craig. Mike there is obviously a little way behind them, having made the move on Cobb, but Cobb there a little little bit sleepy off the start. Always Charlie on two wheels there, manages to hold on to it. Incredible save there from Charlie Goff. Connor completing the classification right now, but Jay has managed to wrestle the lead here off of Big Blue here. So Jay now your race leader as Big Blue's got Smokey on the back of him. Smokey all over the curb there. Nick Levitta's now looking to the inside as they're coming down towards the end of the back straight. Nick Levitta's going to go side by side here with Smokey Devil. Now can he get this move done as they come onto the brakes? Oh, as Big Blue really catches out of Smokey there, and Nick Levitta makes his move through as Big Blue's braking point, I think, just really caught Smokey unaware as they're both of them now are down to the back. As where's Connor? Has Connor get ahead of him? Big Blue's ahead of Connor, but Smokey has dropped out even further. He's down to 13th and last place, as we can see. M. Afford up into second place as somebody's gone wide. Archie's off the track onto the grass, and he's losing places now, and he's lost out to Charlie as well. So it's been a bit all over the place in the first few corners of this race. Nick Levitta's also down to 7th place, so he's had a bit of a scruffy first lap, but Jay has crucially now got a 2-second gap out the front, and I said he needed to make the most of his clear air and make the move on Big Blue as soon as possible and try and pull away. He's done exactly that. M. Afford has got Aussie looking to his inside coming into turn 1. Aussie Albie makes the move up into second place. Par Poopers are now on the back of M. Afford. You can see there, Mike's still right there in 5th place. So Mike Gaming's made great progress here in the first couple of laps of this race. M. Afford there is going to make the move back on Aussie Albie. Has the inside. Aussie getting it all wrong, and Mike Gaming almost getting taken out by Aussie. Aussie gets tapped in the rear from behind there by Par Pooper, and Par Pooper drops out down. So Aussie Albie and Par Pooper coming together there, and they're down to 10th and 12th respectively. Mike Gaming gets through up into 3rd place. M. Afford still running in 2nd here. What a start to this race. Jay is laughing out the front. He's got over a 3-second gap over these guys. As my throat is tickling, I need to cough. But Jay leading this race by nearly 4 seconds now ahead of M. Afford, as Nick Levitta's now trying to get back on Mike and M. Afford. Mike is now making a move down the inside of M. Afford, down their back straight, into the right hand bend they come, and that's job done there for Mike up into 2nd place. But so what a first few laps from him. He's gone from 11th up into 2nd place. Looking back down the order here, you've got Archie on the back of Charlie. Charlie's also made a good start to this race. He's gone from 13th on the grid up into 5th as he's wide there coming through the second to last corner though. But all sorts going on here in the first couple of laps of this race. You've got Aussie on the back of Craig. There's Connor just behind him. But it's all go here. It's all action in the first 3 laps here at SUGO for the final race of the evening. Race 3 here of 3 for the night. Obviously race 6 of 18 for the season here for the Clio Cup. Currently you've got Cobb on the back of Charlie, but he's now got Archie looking to his inside. Has Cobb gone around the outside of Archie? Actually, I think he might have done. He's not looking down the inside. Archie's trying to come back at Cobb into turn 1 as Cobb's going to try and go for the cut back here, but Archie manages to get the move done into 6th place there. Great move from Archie up the inside of Cobb as M. Afford's not giving up here on the back of Mike. But Cobb's now trying to come back at Archie in towards turn 4. They come down the inside. He goes, skips the curve a little bit. Archie trying to hold it around the outside here through the next little S section as Archie there almost letting Big Blue pass there. Went very easy there through that corner as now Archie's also got Part Pooper looking up his inside. Archie's getting bullied around a little bit here. He's getting pushed about. Maybe it's just the fact that these guys have been racing in his clothes for a few seasons, the last few seasons. Archie has jumped in for his first season here this season. He seems to be getting pushed about a little bit. Maybe he just hasn't learned to get his elbows out here in these Clios, but nonetheless he gets back ahead of Part Pooper there and back up into 8th place, so he's managed to come out on top in that battle for the time being. Jay leading the race, but Mike is carving that gap down already, having got up himself into 2nd place. M. Afford there in 3rd ahead of Nick, followed by Charlie. You got Nick there, you got Cobb there ahead of Big Blue, followed by Archie. There's Part Pooper, Aussie Albie and Craig running pretty close. There's Connor and Smokey there running in P13 as he's wide there coming through that part of the track. But Jay will be quite wary now because he's got his nemesis, or I mean I suppose his nightmare scenario. He's leading the race, but he's got Mike already within 2 seconds of him as they're coming over to complete lap 4. There's M. Afford ahead of Nick Levitta, followed by Charlie Goff. You've got Cobb there still on the back of Charlie. These two running pretty close down the start finish straight. There's Big Blue in 7th ahead of Archie, followed by Part We've got Aussie Albie there ahead of Craig, followed by Connor. Smokey completing the pack at the moment. 12 seconds currently separating the entire pack here for the Clio Cup here at Motive. Race 3 of the night here, final race of the night at SUGO. But Jay is now maintaining the gap a little bit to Mike. He's not losing time to him at this point, so he's done a good job here in the last sort of lap as Jay. M. Afford is trying to weather this storm. Nick Levitta having a much better race so far in this one, looking to try and get himself into those podium places if he can. Cobb's still keeping Charlie at bay, ahead of Big Blue, Archie, Part Pooper, Aussie ahead of Craig, ahead of Smokey, ahead of Connor. But Jay's keeping Mike, he's keeping him at bay at the moment, keeping him honest. Mike's chipping away little bits at a time, but Jay's just got that gap at the moment, doing what he has to do. The gap 1.6, 1.7 seconds. It's just ebbing and flowing between these two. Emmafford's still got Nick looking all over him here, but Nick Levilla can't seem to make a move at the moment. Cobb there's actually lost out to Charlie. Charlie's up into 5th place now. He's got ahead of Cobb. Oh no! As Nick Levilla's dropped it there. Oh, I was bigging him up. I was talking about his chances of getting onto the podium. Nick Levilla's made a big mistake there, and it's down to 12th place, down to 13th now, the back of the pack. Oh, what a shame, as Cobb is looking to try and get back on Charlie here out of the last corner. This might allow Big Blue to have a chance here to have a crack at them down the start finish straight, as he's now got the slipstream here off of Cobb, and now Cobb is on the inside there. Big Blue's going to make this 3 wide coming down the start finish straight into turn 1. Is he going to have the inside line? Big Blue there might be able to make 2 moves in 1 corner. What a move there from Big Blue. If he can pull this off, Cobb trying to hold it around the middle. Oh, Cobb just holding on to that one just by the skin of his teeth. Big Blue can't complete the move here either on Charlie. Charlie keeping the inside for turn 2, for turn 3 should I say, and he's up the inside there, holding on ahead of Big Blue into 5th place. Archie can't get the move done on Big Blue, as you can see Park Pooper looking around the outside of Archie here, and Park Pooper's going to swoop around Archie. Archie tagging that curb there, had to let that one go. Oh, as in the background there, Aussie Albie running ever so wide, keeping it ahead of Craig just about there. But absolute chaos right now, as we got Cobb starting to pull away a bit from this pack. Charlie got Big Blue, you got Archie ahead of Smokey. Aussie Albie has just dropped off of these guys a little bit. He's got Craig on the back of him as they're coming down towards the end of the back straight. But incredible racing here as Big Blue's on the back of Charlie. But Big Blue, I thought he was going to make the move down the inside of both Charlie and Cobb, but I think he just, the thing is, on the inside line he had to take such a tight line. He didn't have the confidence to carry the speed on the inside, and had to back out of it kind of, and then Cobb held it through the middle, managed to just kind of batter his way through. Not batter, but you know what I mean. He brute force just fully went send it through down the middle of the 3 of them, and somehow managed to keep onto it. Charlie came out just behind him, and Big Blue's now got to watch out because Park Pooper's lining him up for a move down the start finish straight. They come. Park Pooper Rex is going to have that done up into P6, and now Big Blue's got to watch out because Archie's looking down his inside as well. Smokey's on the back of Archie, and these guys are having a great little tussle here for P6. They've dropped off at the back of Charlie a little bit, and in fact Cobb's pulled away from Charlie as well. But oh, Smokey looking to try and send one down the inside here of Archie. Yes, he got that one done. He has. That was very out of the blue there from Smokey Devil. He full on went for that one, didn't he? Great move there. A little bit ballsy, a little bit speculative, but he's pulled it off. Great stuff there from him. Looking at the battle for the lead, I'm just flicking up to these guys now. Mike Gaming has gained quite a lot here on Jay. 7/10 on that last lap, and there's now 3/10 of a second between them. So Jay's not going to be able to fight this on pace. He's going to have to park his car in all the right places and make his Clio as wide as he possibly can if he wants to win this race. It's going to have to be a change of tack for Jay. He can't defend it by pulling away. He can't think about going as fast as he can. He's just got to play the defensive game. He's got to play the tactical race here as Jay. Mike Gaming, we know that he's good at overtaking. We know he's a gutsy racer. Jay's just got to park his car in all the right places here. As looking back to the battle in the mid-pack right now, Emmafford's still leading this pack of, well, he's 2 seconds clear of it, but Park Pooper's still leading this pack ahead of Smokey. Big Blue, Archie and Aussie still running in pretty close contention. Charlie and Craig on the back of these guys as well. What a battle this is right now for P5. These guys going at it, hammer and tongs, but you've got Smokey Devil getting a bit of closing speed here on the back of Park Pooper, too far back into turn 1. Archie having a look to the inside of Big Blue, too far away, as Charlie looking on the inside of Aussie. Aussie keeps it around the outside there. Charlie also watching out because Craig's on the back of him as well. Craig 11th in this race, was obviously 3rd in their second race a few moments ago, but not so great in this final race of the night. Oh, Smokey getting pushed out a little bit there by Park Pooper. Now he might be vulnerable. Big Blue tags him in the rear a little bit there. Big Blue has to back out of that. Oh, that was close. Oh, the Smokey there is run into there by Aussie a little bit. Bit of a handbag stare between these guys now. Oh, it's a bit all over the place really as these guys are tapping each other. Down down the back straight. Sorry, they go. Big Blue there backs out of that move on Aussie. As Charlie's looking to the inside here of Big Blue. Now Charlie off. Oh, did Big Blue tap in the rear there? I think he might have done. The cameraman's not giving us any idea what's going on at all. As it looked like he did, yeah. Craig and Big Blue have just backed out. So Big Blue there waiting for Craig. Very sportsmanlike there. But unfortunately for those two, they've now dropped out of this battle here for P6. Park Poopers gapped these guys by a couple of seconds. Archie, Charlie and Smokey still running pretty close. Aussie also still right there, but Craig and Big Blue now a couple of seconds behind them, and Big Blue's dropped back by a couple of seconds off of Craig now as well. Park Poopers managed to get away from this battle, but we've still got Smokey and Craig running pretty close. Let's get on board because we don't trust the trackside cameras. They're just not doing us any favours right now at all. But as we see, Smokey here is just ahead of Aussie Albie into turn 1. Keeping an eye on the front battle right now. Let's jump to these two because Jay's still holding ahead of Mike. Mike is giving it absolutely everything here. He's throwing the kitchen sink at Jay as he's now got to run around the outside. I think Jay should be okay. Jay's got the inside line as they're coming down towards the end of the back straight, so he should be alright. He also got a better exit as well. He's now pulling away, coming down the hill. Mike Gamer's going to try and go around the outside. Surely he's not going to be able to find the grip around the outside there. Jay keeping it there. Great driving there from Jay. Textbook defensive driving. Mike just can't find the gap. Can't find an opening. Really great driving from our former runner-up of this Clio Cup series, Jay. Obviously, touring car champion from 2 seasons ago as well. You've got the reigning Clio Cup and touring car champion trying his absolute utmost to make this move on him, but Jay is currently doing everything he has to do right now. As we're about to go on to lap 10, we've got 5 laps left to go. Can Jay weather this storm? As M. Afford's made a mistake. He's lost out to Park Hooper. Park Hooper's up into 4th place. Didn't see what happened there, but M. Afford's also picked up a time penalty as well. Aussie Albie's still on the back of Smokey here as these two coming through the final corner. He's got a great run actually. Aussie Albie might fancy his chances here. We're going to keep an eye on this battle here because Mike's looking on the outside of Jay again but can't do it. Aussie Albie though with the slipstream here on Smokey Devil. M. Afford's also very close on Park Hooper as well. Are we going to see any moves here from any of these guys? M. Afford too far back on Park Hooper. Smokey holds on ahead of Aussie for the time being. Archie just in the background there. What was going on there? Nothing at the moment. Jay still leads this race by 0.2 of a second. Mike Gaming though looking to try and make it 6 from 6 so far this season. The only thing that stands in his way at the moment is Jay, who, as I said before, doesn't need to push. He doesn't need to try and outpace Mike. It's a difficult track to overtake SUGO. If he parks his car in all the right places, he should be able to hold on and take this win, but it's easier said than done. But every time through that corner, Mike's trying to go around the outside and Jay's just got it covered. Knows exactly where to put his car, knows exactly the right lines to take to just block any potential advances from Mike. And Mike now looking to the outside into the final corner, but Jay once again, wily old fox, knows exactly what he's doing here. He's able to get that exit out of the corner and Mike just hasn't got the run that he needs. Jay once again has got the inside line coming down the start-finish straight and should still have the lead coming into turn 1. I tell you what, Mike's actually got a bit of his car alongside Jay here. Jay might have to go late on the brakes here. He's still got the inside line and he's got the preferred run, and Jay has to get his elbows out a little bit, but it does so brilliantly there. And Jay once again weathers the storm, holds on by the skin of his teeth. Mike Gaming is on the warpath here though in this race. What a battle these guys are putting on at the moment. As Craig and Aussie side by side here down the start finish straight. You can see Archie in the background here as well, trying to get involved, but Craig's got that move done on Aussie up into P6. Archie looking on the outside, nothing doing. That's dropped on there for Craig. Jay and Mike still battling it out, 0.3 of a second between these two as they're now onto the back straight here. Mike doesn't get enough of a run. Jay's got a bigger gap this time than he has on previous laps. Down the hill they come, and Jay a little bit more comfortable this time around. Here we are, Jay and Mike coming through the final corner right now. 0.3 of a second separating these two. Mike just doesn't seem to be getting enough of a run. Connor's retired from the race, unfortunately there. A disconnection there by the looks of it. We've lost Connor here on lap 11 of 14. As here come the two leaders once again, 0.2 of a second separating Jay and Mike. Mike again looking to the outside, nothing doing, can't find enough of a run, can't get the traction around the outside. There's not enough grip on the outside line here at SUGO. This track's not used too much throughout the year. Probably mostly used for drifting actually. Oh, you can see it's rubbered in certain parts as Mike there just tagging Jay in the rear, getting a little bit aggressive here as he's now probably getting a bit frustrated. He knows that Jay's playing the tactical game here, knows he's playing the defensive game. Jay's not trying to outpace Mike, he's just trying to be patient and trying to force Mike into sort of driving his lines and altering what he's doing here on the track. These two were well off with their fastest sector times on this lap as Mike's looking to the outside once again down the end of the back straight. But again, not close enough, not nearly close enough here on Jay. Jay once again parking his car in the middle of the track and squeezes him to the edge of the track there. And keeping onto this lead for now. Craig is still on the back of Mafford as these two coming down to the end of the back straight. Craig got the move done on Ozzy a couple of laps ago. He's now looking ahead of him here as he's got Mafford still keeping just ahead. Ozzy's still not giving up as Mafford's a bit wide there coming through the right hand at the end of the back straight. And now Craig's going to have the outside line. Mafford though has the inside for the next corner. Ozzy's going to try and come back at Craig here as Archie's right here there. If these guys trip over each other, Mike's got the lead of the race down the start and finish straight, but once again Jay with the inside line is going to outbrake him coming into turn one. Bit of contact between the two of them. Mike there squeezes around the outside. Can Jay keep himself there? Mike Gaming takes the lead here at the beginning of the penultimate lap. Can Jay hold it around the outside? Mike pushes him a little bit wide. Oh, as Jay gets it back on the track all over the grass there. Mike Gaming sees the lead, but he goes a bit wide and he might get a slowdown for that one. And he lets him pass, so Mike did get a slowdown for that one. Jay seizes the lead back here. A lap and a half left to go at SUGO. What a battle these guys are having. Keeping an eye on what's going on elsewhere because Ozzy's got back ahead of Craig up into 5th place. Mafford's lost out to both of them. Ozzy up 2 positions. These guys now well adrift of Part Pooper, who's actually closed up onto the back of Cobb here. So this could be a battle for 3rd place developing as well. Ozzy, Craig, Mafford still having a bit of a battle. Archie's dropped off of them. Well, no, he hasn't, sorry. Oh, Mafford wide. Mafford really wide. Does Archie manage to capitalise on this? He's going to get a good run here coming out to the back straight, but he's not close enough just about. He does get a bit of a run, though. Mafford's going to have to defend this move coming down to the end of the back straight here. So here we are right on board with Archie looking to try and go around the outside here of Mafford, but Mafford's got that move covered at the moment. Craig's on the back of Ozzy here as these guys coming through the final sector right now. Ozzy a little bit wide but keeps it on the racing line, and Craig can't get back at him here as they're coming into the final corner. The two leaders are on the final lap here, Jay and Mike, as they're coming into turn one. Bit of a lock up there from Mike. What can Mike Gaming do to preserve his perfect record so far in this Clio Cup? Jay standing on the verge of taking his first win in the Clio Cup for a very long time. I can't remember the last time I saw Jay stand on the top step in the Clio Cup. Mike's going to throw everything at him to try and take 6 from 6 this season. But Jay's driven a faultless race, a fantastic defensive showing here from a former touring car champion. Also was runner-up in this Clio Cup 2 seasons ago. It'd be great to see him return to form here. He's had a torrid last season and a half. Mike's got a bit of a run here on Jay coming down the back straight. He got a slightly better exit. Jay will have the inside. So Jay will be able to take the racing line coming to this right-hander at the end of the back straight. Here we go, down the hill they come for the final time here in race 3. Final time this evening. Jay once again doing what he's done throughout the entire race, judging that braking distance absolutely spot on. Mike throwing everything at Jay over the course of this race, but Jay has stood tall, stood firm, hasn't faltered, hasn't cracked under the pressure. Into the final corner they come. What a drive, what a show it's been, and from these two they've put on an absolutely fantastic race. But I think Jay's going to hold on unless Mike can get a run coming up the hill. As here we come, it's going to be a drag to the line. I'll tell you what, Mike's got a little bit alongside Jay here. Can he do it? No, Jay's got the run. Jay managing to pull away a little bit up towards the line. Jay's going to take the victory here in the 3rd race race of the night. What a win there from Jay. What a performance from him. A superb defensive drive. Mike takes second. Cobb is going to hold on for third place here. We neglected the battle for fifth, which it looks like Craig has managed to nab Aussie back again. And Archie's got ahead of M. Afford up into seventh as well. Cobb takes third. He holds on for the podium place ahead of Park Pooper. Craig's going to come over to take the P5 as Aussie bins it over the line. Aussie there loses out to Craig, and then you got Archie in seventh ahead of M. Afford at eighth, followed by Nick Lavilla, who comes over in ninth place in the end. Big Blue coming up towards the line. It's going to be P10 here for him, as over the line he comes there. Nonetheless, thanks to Big Blue for jumping in once again. If you want to be a regular driver for the series, mate, let us know and we can put you on the regular drivers list. We've got Big Blue actually loses out on P10 to Charlie, who won the time penalties, and last driver to be classified then. Obviously Connor disconnecting there towards the end of the race, so the last driver to be classified was Big Blue, after Smokey actually. But what a win there from Jay. I'll tell you what, the battle between Jay and Mike, superb stuff. That was awesome to watch, guys. Well done to both of you for being clean and fair and really giving it absolutely everything, leaving it all out on the track, so congratulations to you guys. Also, I'm sorry I've been neglecting the comments here. We've had Nikki saying hopefully Mark Afford gets a good result tonight. Hi Andy, welcome to you, Nikki, good to see you commenting. Sorry I haven't been reading the comments in this one. Sebastian Gonzalez there referencing the somewhat unwelcome messages that we've been receiving from Sex Chatter site there. But nonetheless, guys, that is that for tonight's Clio Cup action. I apologise for the fact that we missed most of the first race. We did eventually jump in for the final 5 minutes, but we missed most of it. But the second and third races tonight have been, we've had a plethora of action tonight, and I've really enjoyed all of it. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the stream tonight, guys. If you're one of the drivers, I hope you enjoyed watching this back. If you did, please share it with your friends, family members and otherwise associates, and share Motive. If you want to get involved in Motive Racing, then be sure to go to www.motiveracing.com. We've got the Project Cars 2 Leagues, Clio Cup on Mondays, GT3s on Tuesdays, and we've also got the Touring Cars on Thursdays, which is our main event. The Touring Cars sponsored by revoltdetailer.com, and we've also got ACC Leagues, the PS4 on Wednesday, although we'll be hoping to bring out either a PC or another PS5 league on Wednesdays next season. We've also got the Sunday GT3 League on PS5 for ACC, and the F1 League on the F122 game, which runs on Friday night. But if you want to join any of those, be sure to go to www.motiveracing.com. Join us tomorrow night. We'll be live at the same time for the GT3 League here on Project Cars 2 again. It'll be Mike Gaming taking you through that one. Your boy will be on track, so I'm looking forward to that. We'll be at Watkins Glen as well. I love Watkins Glen. I'm confident the BMW should be strong there, so I'm hoping for a good result personally. But yeah, I'm stoked for that. Can't wait to see some of you guys checking that out. But from me, it's a big thank you once again, and yeah, let's wrap it up. Good night. Jay and Mike, that was awesome. That was brilliant. Your battle was sick, guys. Loved it. Great run, Jay. I was rooting for you there. I'm not going to lie. No offence, Mike, but it's been so long since I've seen Jay win in the Clios.